All right, there's been a lot of talk recently of this idea of this law of assumption that's been circulating. And I want to share with you the things that I've learned when it comes to understanding things like law of assumption, law of attraction, and how that stuff actually works. My life is a testament of it. I have awesome wife, some home, awesome community, made a lot of money. Like, I figured out some things that work. And so I see there's a lot of half-truths out there with things like the law of assumption that I'm going to clarify in this video so that you can get the law of assumption, if you want to call it that, you can get that actually working for you so you can make everything you want happen, right? But let's clarify that. So let's dive in, right? Who am I? If you haven't seen my videos yet, I'm Mitch. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years now. I started a long time ago with my own businesses. Anything from mowing lawns to tutoring to building websites, sales funnels, e-commerce, all sorts of things. And made over $1 million doing that, but it really only took off about 3 years ago. And this was really my first introduction to this idea of assuming the thing that you want to have happen. So I see a ton of people get stuck in this, and so I don't want you to be one of them. That's why I'm making this video. Law of assumption is basically this idea that if you can assume, so you have a vision of what you want, right? Let's say you want to make, $50,000 a month. You want to make $50,000 a month, you have to have the feeling and assume that it's already happened and therefore somehow magically it will happen, okay? That is a very risky thing to do by just looking at it at that level. There's a lot more than meets the eye because you got your conscious mind, right? When in your conscious mind, you might feel the assumption. You might say, oh, I'm assuming it to be true. And every day you think about it, you do your affirmations. You know, I was hardcore into this. I should upload a picture. I have it downstairs on my desk, but I literally have stacks and stacks of paper like this thick, all of single pieces of paper of all the stuff I used to write out, of stuff I was assuming that I wanted to be true. And guess what? Barely any of it actually came into my life until I figured out how to get it into the unconscious mind, right? And the unconscious mind is the real game changer. So here's what's up. You got a conscious mind, and it's like a little bit of a percentage, right? It was explained to me the other day, a really good analogy of literally the power and speed of a snail is your conscious mind. And the power and speed of a 777 jet, like a Boeing jet, that is your unconscious mind compared to a snail. Right? Picture the difference in that. That's actually what it is according to the most recent research out there. Your conscious mind processes 40 bits of information per second. Your unconscious mind, it's something like 11 million per second. Pretty amazing, right? So imagine now when you can get the unconscious mind now working with that law of assumption, if you want to call it that, right? And so that's something that I'm happy to share with you how I figured that out. Now, let's talk about this too. If you just want to have we gotta be real about this too. A lot of people will say, oh, law of attraction, whatever your dream is, law of assumption, whatever your dream is, it's valid. Whatever your dream is, it's great. Well, that's not true, right? Because we would all draw a line somewhere, right? What if someone's dream was that they wanted to just, be like a serial killer or something? I'm giving an extreme example, but you know what I mean? People who think, oh, I want to run a huge company and I want to make, billions of dollars. But what if that company is like polluting the earth? What if they're like a chemical manufacturer and then they're dumping chemicals into the ground that's harming people? And the thing is, law of assumption, law of attraction, it works whether you're a good person or a bad person. It's a law. That's why they call it a law. But again, it's grossly misunderstood because, just look at it for yourself. All the people that you know that have used those terms, right? Law of assumption, law of attraction. How many of them are actually really financially free? How many of them live really where they would like to live? How many of them are building community with like-minded people or have kids who are geniuses? It's like very few. And is it replicatable? So what I want to share now with you in this video and for the remainder of this video is some things that you can do today so you can really start to dial in like what's actually going on inside and how is the law of assumption not being perfectly played out for you. Because again, just assuming stuff only with your conscious mind, it's not going to work because that's like using the snail, hoping to get you to your dreams. We got to get that 777 jet, that going towards your dreams. And then when that happens, it works. Right? I have hundreds of stories and testimonials and friends of mine in our community, right? There's a self-perfected community. There's people in the Technotutor world that are just crushing it in terms of like really, really getting to the top. And it's pretty cool how fast it works. Some stuff is like really fast, like overnight, like shifts happen. Other times, it's a little process for the growth. But when you can get that information, right, the thing that you're assuming, the dream, the goal, the vision, embedded into that unconscious, it will resonate out. And then law of assumption will happen. So, right, so now, again, provided that your assumptions are in alignment with like the higher good or the greater good. And if you want more details on that, like we should chat one-on-one of like what that actually is. There's a lot of nuance to that. But let's just say you're like, yep, I want to make money and I want to create a better world and I want to help, let's say, end homelessness, or I want to end hunger in the world. That's great, right? Those are great things to implement the law of assumption on. Now, here's something that you can do, right? Let's do this. One is I would write out on a piece of paper. I'd write out first, right? I would write out my negative thoughts and my negative beliefs, okay? This might seem contradictory, right? You might even want to turn this video off because you'd rather listen to someone who is only going to tell you the positive. But as someone who's successfully engaged this law of assumption and made things happen, I'm going to tell you, we got to also be willing to look at the negative, okay? So if you were to write on a piece of paper, my negative thoughts, my negative beliefs, and you get those all written out for you, and you can start to really look at it, right? That's going to start to really now open up what's actually going on inside you, and it will help you understand and get some more clarity on like, why is your life and the things you want to use law of assumption on, why is it not working? Right? Why are there errors in what's coming in? And why is it like, you still have the bills that you don't like, or you still react to money, or you and your spouse aren't having an awesome day, every day. It's like, that's the kind of stuff that we want to look at. So first is you're going to write out all the stuff that are actually negative thoughts or negative beliefs or limiting beliefs. Next to that, right, you can write out the things that you would rather have the view of, right? So let's say one of your negative beliefs is like, I doubt myself, right? So next to that, you could say, I am confident, or you could really, what would be best is to say, I understand how to be confident. Let's say another thing is, I'm tired of fighting with my spouse, right? You could say like, I understand how to have a great relationship. Now write out all these things that you intend to understand. Again, it's not enough to just write it, but that's the next step. So step one, the negative. Step two is like the things you desire, including the understanding. Because think about this, right? I used to work with a gentleman named Ty Lopez. I used to say, when I would be with him and his colleagues, I'd say like, hey, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. I want $1 million. And he would say, stop saying that. Stop asking for $1 million. He said, rather seek the understanding to get you $1 million. And I didn't fully understand that at the time. Now I do, right? And it's amazing because now I know how to make $1 million. I know I can do it again, right? You want a phenomenal trick in life to get to have more success. As soon as you figure out the thing that's working, do more of it, and then figure out a way to do it faster. Hey, voila! What a amazing piece of advice. But that's actually how it works. Now you got your list, right? The negative, the positive, and then now my suggestion is now looking at like, what do you actually have to do? Okay, so write out it's what you think you have to do. Now, your unconscious mind, there's going to be stuff in there that's like limitations to it. And so if you're stuck on this at all, right, and you're not clear on getting an action list and then doing the thing, because that's the other biggest piece, right, is with the law of assumption, is it's missing out on the piece of the like inspired action. It's implying that, oh, you can literally just sit there and assume things and it will magically show up on your lap. That is not how it works. But when you can assume the things and you get the right thinking in and you get the right programming in the unconscious, you're going to be inspired to take action. And then at the end of the day, you go to bed knowing, wow, I actually feel really dang good because I did the best thing. And that's priceless, okay? So that's the steps right there. There's the negative, then the positive, and then write out the action steps you have to do. Now, if you get stuck on that, or you want support with how to actually effectively write your actions in your to-do list so it becomes a joy to do your actions in your to-do list, sign up for the 7-Figure Vault. It's free. The best trainings I found, I take all my notes, all of that, I put it in a Dropbox link. Right? It's kind of technical training, so it may not be for everyone. But if you want access to this and stuff that I've learned from Ty and from other events and mentors and different groups I've been part of. I have that all in there. Okay, so that's how you can get the law of assumption to actually work for you, because it's misunderstood, and I see a lot of broke people struggling with it. And this, my intention is that you can now use what you have here, right? What you've have written out for yourself. And then you can actually now really start to see, okay, what do I actually have to do? And then focus your assumption on that. Assume yourself is you're going to actually go wake up this week and go do the thing. And that is how you begin to start to affect it. And for those of you who really want to take this to the next level and you want to know how to get that 777 jet within you, working for you, and the assumption is working on that level, that's the real game changer, right? So you got to reach out for that. You can find a link in the description where you found this video. And with that, right, go use this stuff for good, right? Because the world needs a lot more goodness. All right, cool. See you in the next one.